There's a certain part of me that really didn't want to make this video, and the fact that I've been off YouTube for a couple months now, after just getting tired of making videos, you get that stages in your life and you don't want to do it anymore. But this video isn't about me. We'll talk about that on another video if I decide to ever do this again, but I had a platform, and this used to be something I would get on camera and just put my thoughts out. And a man that meant a lot to a lot of people has passed away recently on Monday night. And when the news broke, it literally just shocked everyone, because this man made everybody feel so good inside and outside. He was one of the funniest people on the planet, one of the most heartbreaking actors that I've ever seen on film. And obviously I'm talking about the amazing and talented Robin Williams. This man just epitomized comedy and epitomized just always wanting to make people happy. And it's so sad to see a man like that wanted everybody to be so happy when he performed, to go through all that. And it just goes to show how much people don't understand about depression, that anybody can be affected by it. Me personally, I have been affected by it for a while, and I don't like to delve too much into my personal life, but ever since I was about, I want to say 11, I've suffered from it. After my grandmother died, who I loved very much dearly, just spiraled into a long-winded depression. And there have been two attempts on my life that I've never really explained to people, that I just wanted to end it all. So I get where Robin Williams, where he had to do it, and I understand completely. And it does suck to lose an amazing treasure like Robin Williams, who brought so much happiness to people. It's just honestly a scary thought to think of somebody who brought everybody so much, like, so much happiness. It's just so much happiness, and then just ended up just wanting to leave this life. I mean, this man, his career, it was just unbelievable. Talk about a success story of anybody, of any proportion, seriously. A comedian who came from Mork and Mindy, who was hysterical on that show. I've watched a couple episodes, and he is out of this world funny on that show. And it blows my mind how good he actually was. You gotta talk about his movies. Just some of the best moments from his movies. You gotta talk about a movie like Flubber, who a lot of people don't like, actually, but Flubber for me is a childhood memory. That movie was played in my house so many times, it's not even funny. This man made my childhood great, and I think for a lot of people he did the same. You gotta also put in Mrs. Doubtfire. That's a classic, all-time classic for Robin Williams. Movies like When I Got Older, I got to watch 1 Hour Photo. That movie is honestly a treasure to me, and I just watched it recently because I remember how good it was. And it shows you that he could play an evil guy and you still cared about him. You have movies like Aladdin, which is the single greatest animated voice acting performance in history. I will put that up against anybody. You also have, I have to put this in two movies in a category, because a lot of people, they're very underrated films in my opinion, but that people don't really appreciate as much, which are Hook and Jumanji, which those two films were played a lot in my house. My little sister loved Hooked, and it just got me, no pun intended, hooked on that movie. He plays Peter Pan, an older version of Peter Pan. Dustin Hoffman gives another great performance in that movie, but he had a childlike sensibility about him. That's what I've heard from anybody. He epitomized what it could be like to be a child at heart as an adult, and I've always taken that to heart, no pun intended, but to heart as I've grown up, that you always have to keep some sort of sensibility to be a child. Don't grow up so fast, because look at this. I've got a Pokemon t-shirt on. I play video games. I watch kids movies when I should be growing up, but I don't care. I think that's the reason why people loved Robin Williams so much, is the fact that he epitomized always trying to make people happy even when he felt down, and making movies that made people laugh. And I am at a loss for words at the fact that a man like that was going through so much. And there's got to be one last film that touched everybody on a personal level, and he won him an Oscar. It's his Oscar-winning performance in Good Will Hunting. Oh my God, that there's a scene in this movie. There's actually, this entire movie is amazing. Robin Williams is just perfect. He's not funny. Even though he does have some funny lines in the movie, it's a more dramatic role. And just like 1 Hour Phono, he gives such a performance. It transcends acting. It's just a guy talking. And Good Will Hunting for me was just an eye-opening experience. With people sometimes blame themselves for a lot of stuff that they're going through. And there's this one scene in particular where he's talking to Matt Damon's character, and Matt Damon in the movie has always blamed himself for things. So Robin Williams looks at him and says, "It's not your fault." And Matt Damon says back to him, "No, you have no idea. Everything's my fault." I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the lines exactly. But then Rob Williams just looks at him, and I will never forget this. He says, "It's really not your fault." And I think it's a lesson for everybody, that even when you're struggling and even when you're going through stuff, it's not your fault. A lot of the times you blame yourself for things that ultimately aren't out of your control, and that you can't control over that. And it's just heartbreaking that what he was going through, maybe it wasn't his fault, maybe it was just the people around him. I've heard he was just a loving man, and I've heard nothing but good things about Robin Williams, except for maybe people who say his way out was selfish, and it's those people are stupid, and they don't understand what people like Robin Williams was going through. And I don't even fully understand what he could have been going through. Like, I've suffered through depression, but for that type of man to do that, it's just, it shocked everybody, and it shocked me to the core. Like, when I found out, I was down the shore. That's why I didn't make a video immediately, or I had to think about if I really wanted to put this out, and I just thought maybe it would be therapeutic if I talk about it. I was at the shore, and I went on Facebook, which is never a good idea when you're on vacation. And the first status I saw was R.I.P. Robin Williams, and just the fact that it just hit me on a level that I've never been really hit before with an actor or an actress. Like, I've experienced death with actors and actresses, but this man was such an inspiration and such a big part of my childhood, and a lot of people's childhoods, that it hit us more than a lot of other actors' deaths could have hit us. Like, it would have hurt, but not as much. And that's not an attempt at anybody's character or anything like that to any other actor out there, actress. It's just, Robin Williams was an amazing man, a very giving man. He wanted to make everybody so happy, and to see what he went through, it just makes us all wonder, if a man like that can go through that, what's there for us? But in death, you learn to love, and I think that's a great way to remember Robin Williams as one of the greatest comedians, one of the greatest actors of all time. And that's not hyperbole. I think it's true. I think anybody would agree that he could make you laugh, he could make you cry, all in the same scene. I think Good Will Hunting and Aladdin are great indicators of what he did. Aladdin, especially when as the genie. He makes you laugh through the entire film, and then he says it when Aladdin and him were parting ways. Aladdin's character says to him, "I'll miss you, Genie," and he's like, "I'll miss you too, Al." And it's just heartbreaking. We all miss you, Robin Williams. And I just want to say to anybody that's dealing with depression, suicidal thoughts, or any form of mental illness, there are people that want to help you. I don't know what you're going through, and I can hope for the best that you do get better. We don't need any more deaths in this world because of depression. We need to fix that. So what I'm going to link to is 3 things. First off is a number you can call if you need to talk to somebody. There's always somebody to talk to. I'll leave it right down in the description. The second thing I want to link to is Jeremy John's Aladdin review, because he said that every dollar he makes on that video will go to, I forget the charity, but a charity that helps with depression and the cure for depression. And then I'm going to link to one of my movie reviews, which you can watch and laugh at and enjoy. And that's my Aladdin review. So, Robin Williams, thank you so much for the laughs, so much for the crying, and so much for the terror that you've instilled in everybody. And I want to thank everybody for watching this video, and hopefully it helps you come to terms with Robin Williams as a man and his death. I don't know when I'm going to be posting again, but look forward to it maybe. I love you guys so much, and hopefully this helped. Alright, goodbye. Oh, where's the button? Okay.